go. All right, I'll start this.
Are we live?
We're going.
Wow, we're live.
We are live.
We're recording.
I'm going to pull up the MLM here.
Hello, MLM. It's me, the L. A lot of technical difficulties here.
A lot of technical difficulties.
So it
Gelby sucks. So that's the big problem.
Not the best co-host, I'm going to be honest. So
I've been lacking. We got all the
he's
the
right.
here.
So just so everyone knows, viewing this at home.
We got to introduce this properly. We can't just go.
But before we introduce, I feel like we have to talk about the camera quality sucks. He brought a separate camera. It took like 30 minutes for him to try and...
I got here a good 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Totally unprepared.
Yeah.
Totally unprepared.
And is the camera working that you brought?
No.
Correct.
Camera's
so
not
we're
working.
using a very bad camera.
Right. We're using a single microphone, which we hope that everyone can hear us because it's only a single microphone.
So he had me buy 2 microphones. He bought 1, 3 total.
And we're using 1.
Cannot figure out more than 1 microphone.
We need Gluck here to run IT.
Correct. I agree
I'm
with
a
that.
spreadsheets guy. That's what.
Very good spreadsheet.
I'm a very good spreadsheets guy.
He's not wrong. Very good spreadsheet. If you haven't checked out his work, it's in the
Fantastic.
MLM Tennis Google spreadsheet. Very, very, very well done. Also, I found out this was a little plagiarized, even though from yourself, for another tennis league.
Right, that's right. I was told on the side, by the way, I think Dan Klein was like, dude, what are you doing? You got to keep the mystique alive.
Yeah, correct. I thought you were like some Harvard wizard that just got something done.
Right, in like 15 minutes.
Yes. Correct. All right, so let's now.
So, welcome to the inaugural. I have another idea for a name of the podcast.
Yes, what is it?
We got to get the word banter in there.
No, I agree.
Couple banter things, is that too much?
I don't like
banter things.
If it's not coming from me, I'm not gonna.
Couple things, banter things, couple banter things. We'll figure it out. Welcome to the Couple Banter Things podcast. This is our inaugural episode with co-hosts Gelby, Andrew Gelbtuck.
Not really your last name though.
What? Gelbtuck is my last name. It's a very rough last name.
Goes by Gelby. I just found out recently, by the way, that his name is not Gelby. For the last year and a half, I've been calling him Gelby, not his name. Just good for everyone to know at home.
That's right.
Gelbtuck.
And this is,
correct.
Of course, the GOAT, David Lerner, DL, the one and only.
Hello, everyone.
So, DL, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I first feel like I need a catchphrase. Like, we're the
so-and-so
podcast. We're highly localized podcast with global ambitions, right?
Highly localized. Hyper localized, yeah.
Hyper localized, right, with global ambitions.
Definitely global ambitions.
So it's
definitely global. We're starting small. We're going to go, but this is the ground floor.
Correct.
The ground floor.
Correct. But there is big picture here, which is not in my basement. We're sitting on a kid's sofa. It's my daughter's sofa. There's a sign. You can't see the full sign. It says play.
I think this should be part of the
If we only had a second microphone that worked, we could bring in the toys. All right.
It's pretty interesting over here. I could we should get a better picture of the couch we're sitting on. This thing is 2 inches off the ground. It's like legit 2 inches off the ground. Now, which is fine for me because I'm a semi midget, but for normal people, this is not good. But that's why we're doing it, because we're not normal people.
Correct. Not a lot normal about sitting in my basement at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. And
President's Day weekend. This is how I imagine I said my President's weekend.
Correct, except I have to work tomorrow. I'm going to Philadelphia 8 a.m.
You got to collect those rent checks, baby.
Gotta try.
Collect those rent checks.
Gotta try. So give us some background on yourself. What do you do?
I live in Teaneck.
Yeah.
As we've established previously. I'm clearly Orthodox Jew because I have 4 kids. Sub 40.
A lot of kids.
Right, a lot of kids. 4
also
boys.
wearing a yarmulke.
Also wearing a yarmulke, so that's also kind of a giveaway.
Correct.
I grew up in Riverdale in the Bronx. I like to tell people I grew up in the Bronx, except it's the most affluent part of the Bronx, but yeah.
Oh. I thought you were a little bit hood. Yeah. I saw a little bit of Gelby.
With those Beats knockoffs that I was wearing.
Correct. Guy warms up for tennis with his headphones on, ready to go.
Right.
Character. All right, so Riverdale.
Grew up in Riverdale.
Correct.
Went to Yeshiva University High School. University,
not a surprise there.
Not a surprise at all. Spent a year and a half in Israel.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, also. 4 years or 3.5 years at Yeshiva University for college.
Did you do any army in Israel?
I did not. I'm a wuss.
We now know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. You now know who he is.
This is my goes to Israel for a year and a half. Could be the only guy that didn't put in the time. Oh man, not a good look for the podcast.
Not a good look.
Wow.
I've been in the finance industry. A couple different things. Work for an investment management firm now.
Now they know who you are also.
Yeah, I know. Right. I know it's surprising to hear that from a Jew that lives in Teaneck.
Yes. So the tennis league.
Wait, we need more on DL.
I'll get there. It's a lot of finance. It's a lot of real estate, which I'm in. A lot of lawyers.
Some tennis sprinkled in?
Yeah, given the background. You said finance.
Right.
So
I didn't throw that in. I know. And I know JP likes to check in any claims I make sure they're accurate. He did this when I joined the league, make sure that it was accurate. I played 3 years of tennis in high school. I made the college team. Didn't play on it. Made it.
Stop.
Made the team.
Stop.
Got a credit for it on the
made
PE
the
credit.
College what team?
Yeshiva University college team.
Well, not of tennis. Kidding me?
Made the college team.
Stop.
Didn't play, but made it.
This is blasphemy.
I play. My dad, big tennis fan. I play every sport, but he always got me lessons. I used to go to tennis camp at Horseman in the Bronx. Yeah, very fancy. We did tennis camp there. Got lessons, all that stuff.
By the way, 2 guys I just saw playing in the league this week against Brian and Sharpberg in the silver bracket. Both went to Horseman, and their kids go to Horseman.
That's pretty heavy.
Let it be known, we still have a lot of Horseman in this league. People come from New York City to play in suburban New Jersey, to play in our little Bergen County. I call it the 5 towns, even though it's really a Long Island thing. But people come far and wide for this experience.
So yeah, I didn't love it all. Didn't love it enough to really get good at it. I just played it and had lessons, so I knew how to play, but was never that great.
I can't keep a straight face after saying you made a college tennis team. I mean,
exactly.
Seems like
good enough to make it, not good enough to play on it. But then the fire was lit after 30 some odd years. Fire was actually lit for tennis years later from this league. Actually, I played a couple doubles games with these old men, and it kind of lit the fire. Saw Chad, asked him if there was room in the league. At the time, I thought, there's no way he's going to squeeze me in.
So is Chad...
Little do I know...
Teaneck? So how does a guy from Teaneck know Chad?
Oh, CMAC.
He's in Teaneck.
And if the money's flowing, Chad's going.
Correct. Does he go further than Teaneck? I know Englewood is CMAC.
I think he'll go as far as Fairlawn.
Woo.
I think he'll go out to Fairlawn.
Chatty, baby. Known founder of our league, Chad Meckles. Sometimes Chad, sometimes Chode. We'll get into that later. Many names he has. Very controversial figurehead in the league.
So, I met him through basketball. We were not on great terms because I pulled my son out of CMEC, went to a competing program.
Let's unpack this.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay, good.
But more on the best terms. But I always try to be a nice guy. And Chad is ultimately a nice guy in the day. I saw him. I asked if I can get in, and he goes, "Yeah, we can squeeze you in. I think we can squeeze you in."
What did you say? We have one more spot?
Yeah, I think we have like a 1 or 2 more spots.
40 guys
one more spot.
Right. One more spot.
So I got it. Didn't realize that I thought I was being like one of the last guys getting squeezed in. There's been 60 guys since I joined the league.
Correct. And you came in last year.
Right.
Like
I was too late to even join the tournament. He said I couldn't join the tournament. I was too late.
Yes.
I was like in January or February last year. I couldn't join the tournament. There's been like another 50, 60 guys since I joined.
This sounds about right.
So the fire was lit, and I give a lot of credit to Chad, to DL for the MLM league, because it is an amazing league, and it's lit a fire in me that never existed despite playing tennis my whole life.
Oh, this is what I like to hear. So I believe you forgot the other initial.
Oh, Goyo. Love Goyo. Goyo's great.
First of all,
unbelievable. Best hair in the league. Goyo, best hair in the league.
Up there.
He's my number one. Yeah, my number one.
You're not wrong. Fantastic.
Fantastic hair. Also,
you know who's very good at checking out other men's hair is Brian Farrell. He can notice a guy's he knows, man. We will go to him. We might call him.
He may get called in.
He may get called on this first podcast, so we can ask him who has the best hair in the league.
I'll say, because we're going to unpack a lot of CMEX stuff tonight and or later podcasts. We had my oldest son, who's 9, is in 4th grade. We had a basketball game against the Tenafly team. Chad made sure we would be there to coach the team. Goyo's son on the team. We emerged victorious in a very tight game, 1-point game. Goyo, afterwards, all smiles, very gracious. Dan Somek also afterwards very, very gracious.
Somek, no neighbor of mine, lives a few houses over.
Great man. Love Dan Somek. One of the most improved players in the league.
Plays a lot of tennis. Also, more than he plays tennis, I see him cleaning his car as I'm doing walks around the. Very, very committed to tennis. Also very committed to cleaning his car. Dan Somek, ladies and gentlemen. happens to be true.
Got clean his car and fly Englewood.
Yeah, a quick story about Somek's car. So I went with Somek. So right on this
about his car?
Yeah, quick story. So right on this block here where we are now on Glenwood.
Yeah.
If you cross right over the street, also on Glenwood, is Tenafly Tennis, which is the red clay courts. Peter's a member. A bunch of guys I've met through Tenafly Tennis. So I go over there, I play one day with Somek, have a lovely hitting session, whatever. Somek, very nice car, I think it's a Porsche. Take my tennis bag, throw it in the back seat, not even thinking of it. First, it was the first time I've ever taken a ride. I walk, it's like 200 steps outside my house. He drops me off, I say thank you so much, pull my bag out. My entire bag covered in red clay from sitting on the court the whole time. And I don't even think I've told, like, Somek he's going to watch this and be like, oh my God. And, like, I just know from walking around that he's always cleaning his car. And I'm just like, this cannot be real. I pick up my tennis bag, his entire back seat is just covered in red clay. But he was a nice enough guy. He's like, don't worry about it, not a big deal. But pretty typical situation for me to be in.
So we finished that game.
Yeah.
I did a little, so JP, Jason Panuski, his son,
also,
my son, all in the
side note, sorry for interrupting. Jason Panuski was known to me as SLBB for the entirety of last season.
That's right. That wasn't the entirety. It was a large chunk. Large chunk.
He is now known as Jason Panuski. He has earned my respect.
He's earned your respect.
He is the season one champion, season 3 doubles champion, and I believe he is a favorite or one of the favorites to win this season.
He's playing some good tennis.
Championship. He went from salty little bitch boy to Jason Panuski. Known friend of mine these days.
See, our kids were on the same team, so we all had a little post game. We came over. Chad, not interested in that post game.
Yeah,
that was not interested.
But that's Chad. Yeah, wants to win. He.
But just because you brought up Goyo, the other M, great hair, very gracious, very nice guy.
Also salt of the earth. I can't say enough about Goyo. I love that man. Goyo.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth. Also great tacos. We will do our, even though we have no official sponsors yet, we will promote El Taco Bar.
We are open to sponsorship.
Sponsor us. You can sponsor me. You guys can sponsor us.
As opposed to the year-end party, sponsors don't need to be kosher.
Correct.
Sorry, not just because kosher nosh is kosher, but not Orthodox certification. Doesn't have to be Orthodox certification. Anything is available for sponsorship.
I eat all food. Does not have to be kosher for me. Just as an FYI, we could be sponsored by Halal.
But we are pro Israel. We are pro Israel. Very pro Israel podcast.
Correct. Sponsor's a sponsor.
Sponsors is on those greenbacks.
All right, so
we need some background on DL and we need some background on the MLM league.
All right, I'll give some background.
And DL, no, we need some Chad background. There's a lot of background we got to be given.
There's a lot to unpack. Also, I did some really quick research, and when I mean quick research, during the 30-minute technical difficulty that you were having, I pitter-pattered around a little bit, and then I just Googled, like, a couple things about a podcast. Ideal time, 44 minutes. I don't know if we're timing this.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, there's time over there.
There's timer, 13, 37, 38,
the
39, 40. All right.
The technical difficulties I had setting this up is going to be nothing compared to the technical difficulties trying to edit this thing.
Out. We will not edit. We will let it fly. Background on me. So I'm born and raised over here. Highly, what did we say, hyper-localized?
Hyper-localized.
And I'm hyper-localized. I've known Chad my entire life. For a while, his family lived just up the block from us. Chad's mom and my mom, Chad's dad and my dad have known each other for 40-plus years.
Chad's dad, little known, founder of Sports World, which I didn't know that till I saw a Facebook post from Chad last year wishing his dad happy birthday about it. Blew my mind. I went to Sports World all the time as a kid.
Yeah, Sports World, fantastic place.
Love that place.
Alan Meckless, great man. So I go way back with Chad, but Chad was older than me. Chad was, I think, 3 grades older than me.
Okay.
So we went to the same high school, but there was no overlap.
Where'd you go to high school?
Dwight.
Oh, you went to Dwight.
Yeah, correct. You played college tennis. You got on the team. I mean, I'm just gonna keep going back to this dude. Stop.
I didn't play college tennis.
Ever seen
I made college tennis.
Lies.
Made college tennis. There's a lot of proof. There's a lot of proof to it. Didn't play a match though.
You will give us some proof.
Oh, proof will be given.
Like, is there a letter saying congratulations, Galby, you've made the tennis team?
I think I have the PE credit on my transcript from making the team. I made the team. I have all the gear. That doesn't take much, but I have all the gear.
You probably bought it. It doesn't seem that hard to get some gear or friends.
So, hey, the knock on me, other than just being a mental midget, an absolute mental midget and physical midget, but mental midget.
A lot of truth to what he's saying at this moment.
Is my consistency is absolute trash. Absolute trash. But I can hit a forehand.
Should we get a thesaurus out? I need more words. To
I have a nice forehand.
It's okay.
I can hit, but I know how to hit.
Pretty good.
I know how to hit. All right. So you can believe that at my best, I was able to fool enough people to make a team.
No, I can't believe that. Though. I cannot.
This is D3 tennis.
Where'd you go to? You went to Yeshiva College?
Yeah, D3 tennis. Come on now.
You know Basil?
I know of him.
Oh, Basil's
he's a real deal. His brother, I forget if it's him or his brother, was a good hockey player in high school around my age.
Basil will fact check this. Are you the same age as Basil?
There's a couple Basils. It depends which one this was.
I know Daniel Basil. Played Yeshiva.
I forget if he's my age or not.
This is good.
There's a Basil that's my age, played hockey at Ramaz. I never played tennis against them. But
don't know much else.
You know who was on the tennis team with me? Skydell. We both went to the same high school. That was in high school, not college. We were both in the same high school.
I can believe you played high school.
And I wasn't a bench player. I was doubles, but I played. A regular player.
A lot to unpack with Galby. So I'll just give everyone a quick background. I grew up here, grew up playing tennis, went to Julian Krinsky, tennis camp, didn't go to regular camp. Tennis always a big part of my life. Sister also a fantastic tennis player, tennis family. Little brother Jason, not as good. Sister, very good. Me, very good. Jason, good. Good enough. Definitely better than you.
Little known fact that my oldest brother,
yeah,
I'm youngest by a by a lot. Lots to unpack with that too.
Yeah, my little brother would crush you in tennis, and he's like, okay.
My oldest brother, who
my sister would also
hasn't really played for a long time. But when he was young, he was very, very good. Was able to serve well over 100. Excellent tennis player.
I believe it. Let it be known, both my sister and my brother would beat Galby in tennis.
Low bar.
Truth, though. So, when I moved back here, I was in L.A., met my wife in L.A., was out there for a while.
Are we going to be meeting Casey Lerner tonight?
No, she's out. When she found out it was a video podcast, she said, I'm too tired for that, and I'm in my pajamas. I told her the truth, which is what someone said in the chat. I'm like, you're the only one that has a face for a podcast.
100%.
We have the radio faces.
Her in pajamas or Correct. On her worst day is a lot better than anyone
would
that we're
going to have. Fantastic, honestly. Maybe we'll call her and beg her to come down in a few. Should we try?
Yeah.
Let's call her. Sorry to interrupt this program. Let's see if she wants to.
This is what makes this podcast real. It's in the moment. We don't need to edit any of this out.
She's gonna be like, "What are you two idiots doing in the basement?"
I hear movement upstairs.
Hopefully, it's probably her eating the strawberry shortcake that my dad just dropped off. So good. I don't know if it's kosher. Otherwise, I'd give it to her.
I think she's screening the call.
Nothing to do with me. It's a very sad day for the podcast. I hear
your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Walking around. We have to get her down here.
I think she's screening the calls right now.
Oh, for one, on Casey Leonard joining the podcast today. So I moved back here 5.5 years ago from LA and saw Chad. They were playing a few guys. Chad, I think Lilling was one of them, Goyo. And there was just like a bunch of us that started playing a little bit and over the summer. And we were like, why don't we just start something over, during the year, right? So it gets cold. Here we're in the Northeast. We're in Bergen County, by the way. I'm in Tenafly. I didn't say that. He's in Teaneck. The league consists of primarily Englewood, Tenafly. Englewood and Tenafly?
Basically all Englewood.
Demrest, a lot of Demrest, Stone.
Is there a lot of Demrest?
Selby, Cats, that contingent.
Right. I think the only Teaneck is me and Simpson.
Kamo.
Camo's what?
Glassberg, Demrest.
All Demrest. Okay.
Correct. I call it the Five Towns. The Five Towns and Teaneck. Teaneck will now be
the sixth town.
Yeah, but it's the 5 towns and then T9.
You know what that is actually? If you know the 5 towns of Long Island well, people who live in Far Rockaway, they like to say they're in the 5 towns. They're not the 5 towns.
Yeah, 5 towns adjacent.
Right. So
it's like
we're the Far Rockaway of northern New Jersey.
Correct. You will be 5 towns adjacent.
But you know, Far Rockaway, I just massively insulted myself.
Far Rockaway, nice place. Don't insult Far Rockaway. So we started playing the league, season 1, 16 of us. I was the best by far.
Who were the original 16?
I couldn't tell you the names.
Kieran, how many players still have?
Me, Eric Abigail, Chad, Goyo, Chris.
Was this all Chad recruited, or like it was a lot of guys that already knew each other?
I think it was like Eugene and Christian and those guys, but I don't remember if that was season 1. It was just like 16.
How much of it was Chad like being in the Chad zone versus just legit guys coming together?
So season 1, by the way, is it very hot down here?
I'm comfortable. I'm probably also wearing too much, but
12 layers over here.
Yeah, I got to open this up a little bit.
So season 1 was not Chad in the Chad mode because season 1 was a not-for-profit business. Season 1 was 16 friends.
I'm surprised Chad operates in anything that's not for profit.
It was a not-for-profit business. It was just a few guys that wanted to play competitive doubles and that hadn't played. I mean, I hadn't played in 20 years, when I came into this league, and as is the case for, I think, all of us. Like, really, you played in high school, or in your case, you freaking played in college, no liar.
But you're right, because I picked up a racket less than 10 times between graduating college and last year. So that's going on 12, 13 years, something like that. I basically picked up a racket under 10 times.
It looks like we have someone in the league calling me. Schluffman? Very
nice. Schluffman.
Schluffman, first time ever calling me. You're on speaker. You're on the podcast.
Live on the pod, Schluffman.
First of all, it's not the first time I called you. I called you when we had a deal, when you asked me about the bus for the rally in Washington.
This is correct. I went down to the rally in Washington. You did help me get on the bus. Not the first time you're calling. I believe this is the second. You're live on the podcast. What do you got for us?
You're live with DL and Gelby.
Hey guys, I have a little bone to pick with Chad regarding these silver.
You called at the right time.
Is this planned or no?
This is not planned. This is perfectly timed.
All right, go.
All right, so originally Chad had me paired with Ari Starkman, who's a good friend, a great player, and I was all excited to play with him.
Owner and operator of Kosher Nosh.
Owner and operator of Kosher Nosh.
Fantastic pastrami. Yes, fantastic pastrami, and
although you may say fantastic pastrami, a lot of debate and a lot of controversy in the league, as some of the kosher guys are saying, it's not really what they're allowed to eat.
It's not Orthodox certified. It's conservative certified. So that's your thing. That's fine.
Yeah, we support Starkman in his business. In fact, I believe I was the first person in the league to order a lot of stuff from there. A lot of controversy. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Well, the controversy is legitimate because they don't have the hexture that the Orthodox will accept. And it's also open on Shabbat. So it's a legitimate criticism. Yeah, so
legit.
That's the reason.
Legit. Well, we don't hate on it. Us Orthodox would love to eat from there if he got the Orthodox sector, but even without it, we support it.
All right, we got to make quick work of the grievance because we're at 23 minutes and we can only go to 44 per Google.
Well, we can go longer. We'll cut it down.
Well, this will be a quick grievance. So originally with Starkman, we were making plans to practice together to get everything done. Looked at the league chart a day or two later, and I was paired with a new person, Dan Plotnick, who's a great guy. There's nothing against Dan at all.
Hi, Dan.
I called Chad. I said, Chad, what's going on? I want to play with Ari. He said, well, Dan's really good. This will give you a better chance. He's a great player. I said, great. So I reached out to Dan to set up practices or whatever it was, and he informed me that he's not really that committed to MLM. He's got a lot of other things going on, and that he probably shouldn't be in the tournament because he can only play Fridays. Only Fridays during the day, not any other day, and no nights. And I contacted Chad. I said, Chad, this is a problem. How are we going to do this? I mean, how are we going to? He's like, don't worry about it. I'll make sure that we put you in places with people who can play on Fridays, which I just don't see how there are enough players. And that's kind of. And then today, I just get the latest text, which you may not have seen in our not the banter chat, in the real chat, where there are two new players. One of whom is the son of someone I know, Michael Albala, who's probably I would think he's probably a gold player because his dad's a phenomenal tennis player, David. So I'm assuming Michael is unbelievable, but we'll see. And then there's another new player whose name I don't recall. He paired the two of them up rather than, since I've already complained about it, rather than pairing me with one of them. And again, this is not a knock on Dan, because Dan has been perfectly upfront the whole time. So he even called Chad to withdraw, and Chad convinced him not to.
Schluffman?
Yes.
I'm not sure this is a grievance we can have on the podcast. It's really so we were like vibing, we were really going. Like I feel like the wind just got knocked out of the podcast. We were on a roll. We were
on a pretty good roll.
I feel like you just sucked the air out of the. By the way,
I thought you wanted grievances.
No, I have enough. We have thousands of grievances. We will take another grievance. We will talk about this offline.
We don't want to tell you that your grievance isn't good.
You sucked the life out of the podcast. By the way, Schluffman, for all you guys watching, this guy has done more for Israel, has done more since October 7th, is involved in, what's the organization called? I'm blanking.
Jewish Federation.
The president of the Jewish Federation of New Jersey. He is a mensch among mensch. Unfortunately, that same guy has ruined the podcast for now, which is unfortunate. It's not a knock on Schluffman, just a little bit of air has been sucked out of the room.
I wasn't even calling to be on the podcast. I was just calling you.
Yes, I get these calls all the time. It's good for people just to know the brain damage I deal with, so I thank you for that. We will talk about this offline. We must get back to the podcast.
All right, go ahead, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, sometimes you just got to tell it like it is. It had to be cut off. Am I right?
You ever see the Chappelle skit with the Wrap It Up box?
I don't remember it. I've seen
that's
a lot
a good
of them.
one. That's a good one. It's just get a box that says "Wrap It Up," flashing lights. Just gotta put it.
Very nice guy. Helped me get on the bus. Me and my aunt. He helped me and my aunt out to get on the bus for the march in Israel. Mensch.
But that was a long grievance.
Not podcast material. I mean, there could have been a grievance that was taking us from like going,
Nah, a lot of partners, a lot of scheduling in there, a lot of scheduling.
And the Plotnik, and this, and
it's a friend of my son. I know the son is my friend.
Maybe he's gold, and I was supposed to be with the kosher deli guy. Oh, Starkman, a lot to unpack. So where were we now? I've completely lost. Do we have to start the podcast? Damn it. I don't even know where we were. Damn it. No, I was saying that year one.
Right. So Chad, it was not-for-profit. That was a not-for-profit, 16 guys.
And year one, I played with a guy named Justin Blum, who was obviously in the league since he was my partner in the tournament. We ran. Blum was very bad year one.
Who's the closest to you in year one?
Friend-wise?
No. Talent,
Marco. And then I don't remember if he was year one or year two. I think year two was this guy Olivier. He might have been year one, but I think he came year two. I'm pretty sure year two. So okay. Marco, year one, the most competitive.
So when did it switch from being just a non-profit with buddies to being in the Chad orbit?
Maybe year two, I think year three. Year two was like Chad was talking about it, I think. Like, I think this could... Yeah, like year two. So it started with like 16 of us. Then it jumped to like 32 the next year.
Yeah.
Then we quickly jumped to like 65.
What were some of the big names that joined
last year?
We ended at like 60-something.
Yeah, so then like year three it ends at 60-something, and this year it's like 110.
Yeah.
But we're over 100.
Well, I mean, we were stopping at 100.
We were always stopping. There's always a stop point. There's always one more guy can come in. We're stopping at 50.
We just added 2 guys during the podcast. Two guys were just added during the podcast.
Welcome to MLM. So definitely in year three it started.
Who are some of the big names that joined?
By the way, I believe this should be for profit because
I agree.
Let me just state my case on this. This should be for profit. Chad does a ton of work. We are all guys in white collar jobs for the most part that are willing to pay an upcharge to have what Chad calls a brotherhood, and he's not wrong. Like, there's no way on earth I would have met you or the eight guys who I love, or been as close to...
I'll take it a step further. I don't even care what his margins are. I don't care if his margins are 100%. as long as I feel like I'm paying what the experience I'm getting is worth what I'm paying, the dollar amount I'm paying.
As long as we recoup some of our fees through sponsorship.
That's certainly.
We forgot to mention, or we mentioned briefly before, we're open to sponsors. Andrew Kent.
I don't know if that's I don't know if it's been mentioned, but just in case anyone doesn't know, we're open for sponsorship. But I think that as long as I feel like whatever I'm paying is worth the experience, which has been fantastic, I couldn't care less.
So tell us about the experience. 'Cause I just had this conversation with a couple guys that joined in the last couple of years.
Listen, if you know Chad, you understand his shtick. So he turns a lot of people off because of his shtick. They don't get it. When you start to get it, you just understand the character he is. It works really well. So a lot of parents get turned off sometimes in the youth basketball because it can be a bit aggressive. But he's really good. a bit aggressive, just a little bit aggressive. But with adults for sure, no one knows how to stir a pot better than Chad. And that's great when you're looking for something to get the blood going, but just get the juices flowing for a league like this. And obviously there's the social aspect and the camaraderie, but he gets you riled up enough to want to come out and play tough. And it's been a fantastic experience. The social aspect's been amazing, but part of the social aspect is I'm with a bunch of other people that also get the juices flowing. It's like-minded people. So it's been a great experience. He does a great job.
Gives a bunch of old guys the ability to compete again and relive their high school, whatever that thing was, the competitive juice.
Or making the college team.
Going. You never make the college team. Stop with that BS. But Chad is Chad. Chad is Chad. Sometimes Chad is Chode is Chode. Sometimes. Depending on the mood, I will call him one or the other. So I happen to be the person that everyone in the league airs their Chad grievances with.
Right.
Like, for whatever reason, I've become that person.
You are the foil to Chad. That's what it is.
Fields that call with every single complaint and every single this and that. It is what it is, though. I mean, like, the league is growing exponentially. It's getting better and better. I mean, the tournament this year has been insane so far.
Fantastic.
Better than any other year. The guys
and I'll give him credit. The draft idea... Great idea. It's added a new wrinkle. It's a new intensity.
Correct. This is when you became famous, was draft night.
That's right. Well,
he had a big showing. He was the announcer. He was the host of the first ever.
I was more infamous before that. This is maybe a little bit of positivity.
You were just known as like a horrible tennis player before. Like someone that was very annoying in the chat. Also a horrible tennis player. And now you're known as Galby, big personality, can handle a podcast, can handle hosting something, and then here we are.
Kind of handle a podcast. Technical difficulties. But
very bad. Very annoying, by the way. Also showed up late, 11 minutes late to my house, which I find a little rude. I'm always on time.
I'm not good on time.
It's very frustrating.
It is frustrating. I hear that.
All right, so let's unpack. Give me some stuff on the tournament so far.
Wait, I just want to hear, because there are a lot of big personalities in the league today. Where do some of these guys?
Time, though.
We'll be fine. No, we'll be good.
33 minutes.
We can go a little over. We'll be fine. Some of the guys, like Stone. When did Stone join?
Stone's a beast. Man plays grown man tennis. Stone joined. Also, side note, I went to Grand Street with him last night. Fantastic. Very, very grimy. Have you been to...
Like Grand Street in the Lower East Side?
No. Grand Street Pizza?
No.
Oh, fantastic. You haven't lived...
Where is that? It's
probably not kosher.
Probably not. It's on Grand Strete in Inglewood? No, that's Grand Avenue. Whoopsie.
You got to do what the Orthodox guys do with Peter Luger. They hide the pay. We'll do a little Grand Street in you. We'll do a podcast episode at Grand Street.
Best version of that, you go to the Resorts World Casino upstate New York in the Catskills.
Yeah.
They don't even hide it. They come in. They get like bussed in at like 1 a.m. on Saturday nights with the.
How do you know this?
Because I go up there a lot in the summer.
We now know who you are.
Very, very awkward when you see a Hasidic guy with the payas and the whole thing hitting on the dealer at the.
I've seen them crushing steaks at Peter Luger. I don't know what else to say. Chowing down. Anyway, so you will come with me to Grand Street. This will be good. Stone came into the league last year. We just have a lot of talent now.
I've heard he's the youngest guy in the league.
Stone, not the youngest guy. Or he might be. I don't know.
How old is Stone?
Stone, 34? Stone's like... Stone's
a little younger than me.
Maybe basically. 33. Stone's same age as my brother.
Okay.
My brother's 34, so Stone 33, 34.
Okay.
They were abroad together, side note.
They were what together?
Abroad.
Oh, really? Where's
like
that?
in college. Went to Barcelona. You don't know that?
Nice.
You never went abroad?
I went to Israel. And didn't go into
Didn't
the
surf.
army. And then didn't surf. Went to school there for a year and a half.
I know who you are. I mean, Stone's a freakish talent. I mean, he rips the ball. I just watched his match against Naftali, and
Naftali also joined in year 3,
Naftali,
right?
a greatly improved player.
You know, we went to high school together. And you know, he picked up tennis like 5 years ago.
Yes, I
Which is
did know
freakish.
that. I did not know you went to high school
We
together.
went to high school together.
Tell me about Naftali in high school.
Oh,
Let's
this
unpack
is good
this.
stuff. Oh, this is good stuff.
I'm going to set up for this.
Naftali will always point it out when he puts me down. He picks a spot to put me down because then he'll say, like, I've known Gelby since this has been a long. I've been putting him down since high school.
You've been putting him down?
No, he's been putting me down since high school. Like exactly what I am now. It's not that different from high school. Very annoying, very loud. People love to beat up on me. Right?
Yeah.
Same personality. So Naftali, also very similar to high school, except one big difference. This is what I told him early on last year when everyone in the chat was like, Naftali. There was one time in the chat like, Naftali is top 5 nice guy in the league, and everyone starts arguing. No, he's top 3 nice guy, and they're like ranking nice guys. And I'm like, I text them on the side. I'm like, dude, none of these guys know you.
Let it be known, I do know Naftali. He just invited me to Shabbat last week. Unfortunately, I had a Billy Joel concert that night. Has hosted me for barbecue at his house. Has hosted me for tennis.
He is a very nice guy. He's a very, very nice guy.
Relevant to what Gelby's take is on Naftali from high school. Naftali, a mensch among mensch.
He is. Love Naftali.
Sugar. And I hope I will like him even more if I find out how much he crushed you in high school. So please go.
Oh, he was, well, so Naftali, like, great shape. He's got it, like, all going on. Same way in high school.
True story. Naftali.
Great ball player. Great basketball player.
Yeah.
He's transferred into my school from another school. He was, like, the number 1 ball player at the old school. My school was very good. So he was, I think he came off the bench. But he was very, very good. He would wipe the floor with me in the gym.
He's taking
wipe
shots.
The floor with me.
He
wiped the floor with me in the gym.
Naftali came
I
off
couldn't
the
make
bench.
that team. Our team went undefeated. I couldn't even make it.
He came off the bench. Not very nice.
He did come off the bench, but he was very good. Excellent shooter. Excellent shooter. Great baseball player. Got a cannon for an arm.
Side note, John Selby, excellent shooter. Fantastic basketball player. Could have played college.
I think I'm a better shooter than Naftali now, but not back then.
Stop.
I'll challenge anyone to a shooting contest right now.
I will take John Selby over you. Although
Challenge
I don't
anyone
bet,
to a
so, yeah, correct. I can't actually bet. I do not bet.
I will challenge
But
anyone
correct.
to a shooting contest.
Yes,
I
John
can't
Selby
move
will
anymore,
crush you.
but I challenge anyone to a shooting contest.
All right,
but
Selby, book it.
Naftali, great, he was a fantastic athlete. Never played tennis.
Yeah.
But that's what's amazing. He picked up tennis a couple years ago, just natural athlete, and plays all the time. And now he's amazing.
Superstar athlete.
Superstar athlete. Best part about it, little known about Naftali, unless you know him from growing up. His dad's a pediatrician in the Teaneck area. Almost like that practice is like where everybody goes. My kids go to that practice. Still. He is. If you saw his dad, there was no way you'd believe they were related, because his dad is the sweetest, nicest old man. That's like a short man with like a beard.
Very religious.
I don't know if you say very religious, but he comes off as like a very sweet old Jewish man.
Yes.
Naftali looks like.
Oh, I thought Naftali's dad very religious. I'm learning something new here.
Nah, I mean, he is religious. I don't know, like, I guess there's a range for all these things. But like Naftali, it's like the hair and the clothes, like polar opposite of like his dad.
Got it.
It's just very funny.
Tell us some more. What else? Questions?
About what? Naftali?
No, you were going on, and then we sidetracked into Naftali.
Oh yeah, so
you said Stone.
Oh, so it's
Stone,
so it seems like
you were going on a path.
No, so when I joined, here's the path. I joined middle of season 3.
Yes,
and it seemed like Chad didn't even let me in the tournament, so I thought like I was really joining this machine that had been going on for so long, and I kind of have to like get my bearings, which I did. But it seems like in retrospect, a lot of the big personalities all joined in season 3, like only a couple months before me. Right, I think
Sharpsburg, very big personality.
Well, he was season 4.
Yes,
he was put in a little end of season 3, but a lot like Stone. You're saying in season 3.
Yes,
Panuski, I think, was season 3.
I
right?
categorize Stone as a big personality though in the league.
Not a personality, big figures in the league, like well-known people.
Yes, definitely.
Whether for their skill or on the chat or both or a little combination.
Like I wouldn't consider Greg Friedman a big personality.
No, but
Like,
obviously he's a major.
He's a giant among giants.
Exactly.
Big difference.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like that's
it's a catch-all. It's a catch-all.
Some people
Greg,
might be watching.
season 3, right?
I don't think many people will be watching that are not directly related with MLM, or maybe their
They
wives
probably all know.
or like forcing their kids to watch. But there's some people that are fantastic tennis players and some that are personalities.
So I'm just curious, which of the bigger figures in the league are actually preseason 3? Because now it seems like a lot of guys started season 3. Obviously, Chad.
Not a lot.
Obviously, you.
Not all the better players like Joey, Naftali, Bawa, Stone, Coach. Those guys all came in
3 years later.
Stu's been around.
Stu's been
around since 1 or 2. I can't remember. Maybe 1. Don't remember.
You say KC.
Peter came in last season.
Peter's a season 3?
Peter's a season
3.
Oh,
wow.
Peter was a David Lerner recruit.
Really? Where do you know Peter from?
From the Red Clay. We went over this. You don't listen very well. This guy.
From the Somek, the red Somek car.
I went to Israel for a year and a half to join the army.
I was in school there. I was in yeshiva. My yeshiva sends a lot of guys to the army.
Yes.
Not me,
Not you.
but a lot of guys go in the army.
Also, the army probably looked at you and they were like,
we don't need you. We'll be fine.
This is not our guy. This is not our guy.
Tore my ACL when I was in Israel.
Not surprised.
Not good.
Not in the army, though.
No, playing football. Not good.
Yeah, not good. So a lot of the heavy hitters came in season 3 and 4.
Okay. And now here we are. So we got to go through some of the results we've had so far.
I feel like the Schluffman thing really fucked us up, right? I feel like we were like,
wait,
I felt like this was gonna have like 1 million,
are we
10
calling
million
in
views on YouTube, and now we'll be like, we get clicked 4 times.
We'll have like the stats will say like we were rolling for about 19 minutes. It'll be like 19 minutes, and then it's gonna drop off. That's gonna be
probably,
the views.
I feel like my energy has gone down since that phone call.
Aren't we getting our favorite segment going? Are we unhinged with Scarf?
Yeah, we will get that going. Hold on, we will call him. I don't know if he's still up. He's got a 4 a.m. flight to Arizona tomorrow.
For this, he will get up.
This will be a weekly segment, everyone. He's not going to be able to do it. I would be shocked. He's probably sleeping or lying down next to his wife. A chance of him being able to answer the phone call and go on an unhinged rant at 10:30 at night right now. Waking up at 4 a.m. for Arizona, slim to none. Wow, my wife won't answer and Sharfberg won't answer? Sharfberg goes by the name Scarf in the league.
Yeah, that's right.
He just goes by the emoji. It's not even the word
and
Scarf.
And he demanded to have a segment unhinged. Oh, here he is.
You've reached Josh Sharfberg. I'm unable to take your call right now. Please leave a message.
Wow. It's weak.
We're
it's weak sauce.
All right, let's go through some of the matches.
Let's go through some of the matches. So let's go look through what we got in pool play over here. So in gold, we've got in the Group A, we've got only 2 matches. 1 match has been played so far.
Big upset.
That doesn't look right.
Goes?
Sorry, that's right. No, this was the match. It was Goes against Greg. Goes beat Greg, and the crazy thing in the tournament has been every gold. I think it's every single gold has gone to the wild card matches have gone to tiebreak.
Not all the wild card matches. Not the Somek and Goldberg match.
Right, that one didn't, but everything else has gone to tiebreak.
Yes, everything's been a tiebreaker. So I can break these down one by one. So, I mean, just the result itself. I mean, there was a lot of back channel talking. I mean, I speak to the guys in this league on a daily basis, many of them. The verdict is just like Rosenberg just is not good enough. Like, it does not matter how good Friedman is. Like, the true feeling is like he's not. Like, even if he's good enough, he's just not good enough. Like, it won't be consistently there to get through the elimination round. Greg is a beast among beasts, probably the best doubles player in the league. Or I would say the best doubles player in the league. But they're not winning the championship.
It's a testament to what the season is, the league is this season, because last year, with all due respect to JP, Greg with Paul might have won last year also.
Greg with Paul? Rosenberg?
With Rosenberg may have won last year also.
Oh, he couldn't even beat me in Kamo.
Who was that? You mean with JP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost to us.
But with the way things went down, even in retrospect, you'd say he had a shot to win last year with Paul.
It's a completely different
but
tournament.
It's a different tournament
this
this
year.
year.
That's why Baba can't win with Hirschman. People are saying like it's not the tournament of last year is not this year, and it's also credit to Peter and Chris, who I played in a doubles match yesterday, and who are just playing solid. I mean, the teams this year are exponentially better, and that's because of the draft. For those that don't know, and you're watching this for the first time, we took 20 guys, ranked them 1 through 20, and
a lot of controversy with those ranks.
The 20th guy picked first, the 19th guy picked second, 18th picked third, and so you have very level teams. So to your point about every single match going to tiebreaker, this is exactly what's happened so far. Right. So you get 3 points for winning a match, 0 for a loss,
unless it goes to
but
tiebreaker.
You get 1 point if you lose in a third set tiebreaker.
Right. So, how do you think the rest of this group's going to end up coming out? I mean,
Krasman and Reichman have literally a 0 chance.
But only 3 teams are coming out, right? So
yeah, so it just depends. Whoever wins the match between Cintron and Dweck will advance.
Who do you have in that one?
I don't know.
What's your take on Davidson? There's been a lot of controversy around if Davidson
He was picked too early. I think he's good, though. I played him recently. He's got good hands. He's got good strokes. Picked too early.
Davidson,
picked too early.
I think he might be well, no, I think he sells ads.
Yeah, correct. Davidson, you will sponsor this podcast.
Right.
You will also bring on some sports figures to this podcast.
He should know something about podcasting.
I would like some heavy hitters.
Producer.
Let it be known I would like some heavy hitters on this podcast.
I
don't want this to just be me and you sitting in my basement. Like, I have big global aspirations
we've got some heavy hitters here.
I'm thinking like Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Like, that is where my mindset is.
You can't even get your wife to come down, so we got baby steps.
Can't even get Sharp on the phone. The best I could do is get Schluffman calling and ruining the podcast.
Local celebrity, hyper local celebrity.
Yeah, hyper localized celebrity in the Jewy community of like the
Jewish Federation
world,
Jewish Federation.
Yes. Red known legend in that world. Correct. Thank you, Dan Schluffman.
So we've had 2 matches in Group B. Bauer Hirschman.
Yeah, that was a crushing against the wildcard team.
Which
is real. I mean, the wildcard teams besides Marco and Shutov, almost impossible for them.
I was talking to my buddy Simpson over the weekend, and he was saying we even talked about before his match that before he got the wildcard spot, that he's obviously going to be trying to win because you don't try to do anything else, but if he lost, it may even be a better experience to go play in silver than to get absolutely wiped in pool play.
I think it's fun to play against the better guys. But
I think it's definitely fun. I don't think you can lose.
It's just not that fair. By the way, if Somek or Goldberg were my teammate, they would have a chance to win the whole tournament, or one of the better players. But if you don't have one of the any guys in the top 20, it's just a heavy lift.
Yeah, it's a heavy
almost impossible.
So we got, and then we had one of the more controversial matches. Dan Rollman
cheated by Malka. Very bad call.
Very
controversial.
So for those who don't know, Dan Rollman, John Carlin played against Darren Wolf and Judah Malka.
A lot of controversy. Also, piggybacking right off of Malka's performance on the. So let me sit up here. I can't see ourselves. Is there a way that we can see ourselves? I don't like that I'm staring at a screen of numbers instead of being able to see what I'm doing. Oh, there I am.
There we go.
Much better. So let me just give some background on the situation. During the podcast of the draft, Judah Malka was accidentally not on mute. So everyone that's watching, 30 guys are on mute watching the draft. Judah Malka not on mute.
You got to inflate the numbers. People realize we're a bigger deal. 30 people.
It might 300
people. 300 people.
31 people. Maybe 30.
I thought it was 300.
Yeah, right. Well, if you count the wives that might have been watching, I know Malka's wife was there because this plays into my story. So, as the draft is going on, I'm there, so I don't hear what's going on. I start getting texts on my group chats going, "Dude, someone's talking shit about you." Someone is off mute talking shit about you. I'm like, dude, who? I'm like, you guys will find out who's talking shit about me. This will not stand. And so, long story short, Judah's in there with his wife watching the draft, and Judah's like, "Oh, that's Leonard. He's so fucking annoying," or something to that effect.
Nothing you haven't heard before.
Being heard, and certainly nothing you haven't heard before. Correct. It doesn't mean he's wrong, but you got caught, bro. And you got caught. So I was already a little tuned up to Judah Malkin knowing this. And I let him have it that night, and he actually called me, and I think he apologized, or like a half apology. He said something like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know how to work Zoom. I'm like, I don't know if that excuses you talking shit. Like if you were saying it off mute, that doesn't make it better. It was still said, my dog. So a little pent-up animosity there between me and Judah Malcolm. He's probably a very nice guy. I also heard
Judah Malcolm's a great guy. I know his family.
I've also heard he's a little sensitive for many in the Anglo community. They told me to lay off him, but I just could not help myself.
Judah Malcolm, good guy.
Judah Malcolm, good guy. I don't disagree.
Great dentist. Whole family does dentistry.
Correct. This I know. Judah Malcolm, great guy. Also, you talk shit about me, Judah Malcolm, so you got issues. It's just how it is in this world, right? So you gotta let them. You can't let it slide. So going to the match. Let me just finish the story quickly. Just give me a second here, and then you'll do the Malcolm story me about one of your favorites or whatever you're going into. So the Roman match is a very intense match, like most of the matches have been. I think it was the first tournament match that was played. Is that correct? I think the very first.
I think it was the first one. And if you know anything about John Carlin, he's on the all, let's call it, emotion team on the court. Yes. I belong on that team, as is Panuski.
Let me just give some background.
As is Kamo.
Let me just give some background.
But Carlin is definitely on that team.
Let me give some background here. There is a chat, and I'm going to speak to you guys because I know my guys at MLM know about that there's a main chat where the dictator Chode has shut down, so I have started a rival chat called the Banter Chat. But for the rest of the millions of people watching this podcast that don't know about the 100-person chat of all the league members.
There's a committee chat.
There's a committee chat. There's a 700 side chats with smaller groups that I'm involved in with this tennis league. It's outrageous. So in the chat, to speak of John Carlin, I said what I really thought. I think Carlin and Roman together are a very solid team. I think the way that the two are going to butt heads, and I said this in the chat, mentally is not going to work out. Carlin can be a hothead, as we know, on the court. He gets mad when he loses the first serve, and Roman likes to come down sometimes a little bit too much on his partners.
I did not know this, but I've played with Carlin before. Love playing with Carlin. Great player. Gets a little emotional.
By the way, side note, Carlin's daughter is #1 singles at, I forget if it's Tenafly or Holy Angels. Couldn't tell you anymore.
Very impressive, though.
Phenom of a tennis player. Absolutely outrageous.
Roman, I've never played with before.
Yes.
Met him off the court several times. Great guy. Love Roman. Did not picture, meeting him off the court, that he is as aggressive on the court. Not on his game, on his teammate relations.
Yes, this is a long-term problem with Roman.
Did not know this. Was shocked to hear this. Shocked.
Yes, we call him the friend abuser in many chats. Roman. We're playing friendly doubles matches like me, Scharfberg, Farrell, and Wasserman. Next thing you know, Wasserman's walking off the court. Wasserman will tell you to this day it's not because of getting abused by Roman. It's just he didn't like the way he was playing. Not the truth. There was a lot of abuse that came down on Wasserman in that match. It was just unbelievable. Then we switched partners at some point.
Roman, neighbor of Chad, correct?
Roman, known direct neighbor of Chad. A lot of controversy there with the tree.
I thought there was a controversy with the lights or something like that on the court.
No, this is a new controversy. No, a lot of controversy. Chad has a gigantic tree, fell down
on Roman's
not house, but in his backyard. Broke his gate, broke Chad's gate, broke Roman's gate.
There was a dispute.
Yeah, not a dispute.
Was there litigation?
There was no litigation. There was no dispute, no litigation. In fact, the mediator was somehow, once again, I get in the middle of. So I hear from Chad about the story, then I hear from Roman about the story, then I'm negotiating a number back and forth between them to try and bring the sides together. This is
mediation.
Yeah, correct. And it's been resolved. Let it be known that mediation was successfully resolved.
So, so you were saying Carlin and Roman, good team on paper,
Roman is competitive.
They butt heads.
Roman is competitive like me. Like when I play Roman, and we're just very competitive. He just can't, but he's, on the court. And John, I've played with the two of them enough to just think that they're not going to mesh well. But let's see what they do. They had a very tough loss. And let's get back to Judah Malkin. We went in like 700 degrees of sideways instead of finishing the story.
So that team, they made to the semis last year. Darren Wolf, Judah Malkin. It's a good team.
It's a good team.
Good team.
It's a good team in last year's tournament.
Fair enough.
But also apparently good enough in this year's tournament if they won their first match.
But so what happened in that match? They split sets. Goes to a third set tiebreaker. It's 11-10, I believe.
It's 11-10.
This is game point. This is match point.
This is match point.
And
or it's 10-10. It's either it might have been
10-10 or 11-10.
It's whatever it is. It's either match point or it might have been match point 11-10. So
ball is played by Darren Deep. Malka calls it out. And what happens from there? Roman says if there's a dispute. So
Malka calls it out. Darren says, I think it's in. Right? So in tennis, if one of the guys on the other side thinks it's in, if you're serving to me and I call it out, but my partner calls it in, that ball's in. Right. As soon as one person on that side of the net says that ball's in, it's in.
Wait, this is helpful for me. Gelby, known ignoramus on the rules.
Yeah, no, it's surprising since you played college tennis and you don't know the rules of tennis.
Making the team is different than being on the court.
I mean, if you made a team to play in college tennis, you should know the rules of tennis. Correct. We're way over time, by the way. We're 55 minutes. People have turned us off 40 minutes ago, by the way. Probably if people watch past the first 12 minutes, I'll be shocked. Just a lot of controversy. He makes a very bad call, but then he threatens. He goes, if Roman says that's our point, and he goes, if that's how you're going to play it, then I'm just taking it as my point. Right. Either we replay it or it's my point. In their defense, in a sense, Roman did not know the rule, and Roman agrees to replay it, and as soon as Roman agrees to replay it, it's a replayed point. Right? So, like, at that point, it's just a replayed point, but it's not, you can't really not know the rule and then whatever, but a lot of controversy, but because of the previous indiscretion with talking shit on the unmuted,
you came down on one side of this very, very aggressively.
Came for the crushing. And tell people what I'm like in the chat because our viewers may not know.
Aggressive. I think that might be the right word.
Yeah.
It comes in hot. DL comes in hot.
I come in hot. I hold no punches. Say what's on my mind.
DL comes in very hot.
Correct. Like the crush.
It's only one way. There's only one speed.
Yes, correct. And so Judah Malka bore the brunt of that, and he still will. It is not over.
Who do you think is not making it out of that? Well, the wild card is Goldberg and Solomik. We all love Dan and the red clay in his trunk, but or his backseat, I guess. But they're not going to make it out. But who else we got that you think is Yeezy's and Selby? Is that going to be the weak link?
Shocked if Yeezy's and Selby made it out, and it's not because they're not a good team. I just think that Roman Carlin beat them, Wolf Malka beat them, and Bawa Hirschman beat them.
Yeah,
right. So like that's how I see that bracket.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Those three teams. I see those three teams as winning, but yes, he's very solid. I played Selby today, even though I dusted him in singles 6-0, 6-3. Let it be known. He's. I mean, they have to steal a match.
Yeah,
you don't have a chance.
They're gonna have a very hard time.
Every team is going to beat Goldberg and Somak.
Yeah.
They're going to have to steal one. I mean, maybe they steal one, but they'll be a dog. They can win a match against those teams, but they're a dog in those matches. Yeah. So it doesn't mean they don't make it out, but they're a dog to make it out.
We'll do a quick run through of the rest before we close up shop for the night. We got in Group C, we got Stone JP. I mean, like you said, you think they're the favorites this year. They had a big win.
Although I'll tell you,
tennis against Naftali.
I thought Naftali and Sonny were a better team. I know they lost the match, but those two teams to me are two of the best teams in the tournament.
Right. So if you're looking at who doesn't make it out there, I mean, you got
Morty's
not going to make it out.
Let it be known, Ricky P. I love you to death. You will not win a match. You will not win a set.
Newstein and Goldberg, and I love my man Mike Newstein. But I think that might be a tough lift.
So what happened? So Widener Mark beat Goldberg.
Yeah, and I think that was the best shot they had.
Correct. So that was the match to determine, in my mind, who was going to advance between those two teams.
That's going to be a tough lift for them. They're going to have to upset somebody. Yeah. We got in Group D, Stu and Kent and Goyo and Jermaine, who
this bracket is insane.
Jermaine definitely wants to call in. I think we're going to have to save it for another time.
Fucking Jermaine. Jermaine. Quick story. I'm with Selby and Stone last night. Pre-gaming. Yeah, I don't drink, but they were pre-gaming at Selby's house. and Selby is drinking from this big Viking mug, and he's like, "You know who got me this mug?" I'm like, "I have no fucking clue, guys." He's like, "Al Germain to commemorate a match." I was like, "What is going on? You're sitting here drinking from a Viking mug that Al Germain, like, that's how deeply entrenched this whole fucking tennis league is, that I'm like at Selby's house and he's drinking from this Viking mug."
I love that no one's goes deeper on historical tennis, not historical like professional tennis, but hyper-localized tennis than Al Germain.
Oh, Al Germain had deep
hyper-localized
roots in the tennis.
He's recalling matches with Chad from 35 years ago in high school, whatever it is.
Yeah, I can't even recall a match from 3 weeks ago. So, Germain, you have...
we love you. We love you, Germain.
Correct.
It's a little intense, though. Just a little intense.
Very intense. Very intense. Don't kill us.
But he and Goya,
Jermaine might be outside my house right now.
I think he's big on like, hey, am I getting a segment? Was it?
Yeah, looking in the window. Don't murder me.
He wants to give his. So in this one we got, we already got 3 wins already for Stu and Ken. I'm saying no, not for them. I'm saying three matches have. So three teams have a win already.
To me, this is the hardest bracket. I think. I mean, to me, this is the hardest bracket because
the question is, you think that Anand and Dan Katz not going to get out of this?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's just so tough. Like, we're looking at this very skewed, right? Because this is one match in, and like when you get the 1 point and you lose in the tiebreaker, it just makes it that much harder. Now they have to beat me. They got to win a couple matches. This bracket,
I forget. You beat who?
We barely beat Stu and Kent. In 3 sets. Okay. Barely beat them.
And they beat Goyo and Jermaine. So they still have Marco and Eric and Dan Katz and Anand.
Every match, every team in my bracket, we can beat and we can lose to. That's just how it is. And that's how it'll be the whole tournament. But Bobby, boy. So my partner in this tournament is Bobby Schwartz.
Bobby Schwartz.
My boy looked good.
He looked good?
He looked good.
We played, me and JP played against him in Schaffberg, where as I've tended to do, had just a mental breakdown.
Shocker.
Yeah, mental breakdown. But Bobby, not a bad player. Solid player. Very solid player.
Bobby good.
Very solid player. Good. I think I've heard you say he was an athlete outside of tennis.
Yes, known lacrosse.
Lacrosse. I think
country. What the hell is it called?
I think Dan Klein just.
What the hell is it called when you get the national high school whatever the hell award?
All-American?
All-Country, All-American, correct.
All-American.
I'm like all-country.
All-American lacrosse.
All-American.
Is Dan Klein aware of this?
Dan Klein is aware of this. He asked more questions in the chat about this. Don't believe Bobby answered. Uninterested in explaining this. He has no interest.
Dan Klein pops a semi-stiffy when he hears the word lacrosse. So
Dan Klein, I also got lunch with this week. My entire plans for the last 2 weeks is all tennis related. This is what this.
Your life is revolving around this.
Deeply entrenched. If people are wondering what I'm doing in my basement at 10:30, it's now 10:45 at night. With Gelby, it's sort of an all-time low. If Jermaine comes in, it's definitely an all-time low. Like things are going.
At the bottom.
Things are going.
If Jermaine comes in, we're going to be here until Tuesday.
We do what the people want. What the people want.
We are a show for the people.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this down to like 20 minutes.
Last one we got.
You're not making the cut. That segment is out.
Buzzkill. Yeah. Number 1 buzzkill.
Correct.
That's going to be a tough one. That'll be the one to watch.
I can't even call my bracket. Obviously, I think I'm going to advance just because I do.
But that's going to be the tough one.
I think Marco and Eric will advance. And I think...
A very good team is not going to end up advancing. A very good team, because this is a loaded bracket. A loaded group, rather. The last group we got... it's also interesting. I mean, I think that... Chad won 1 match, which puts him in a good spot. Otherwise, I would normally pick him to be out based on who's in this group as well.
Chad will not advance.
Wow, big call after winning his first match.
Chad will not advance. It'll be Kolach, Gibber, Owansky, Glassberg,
Doc Cohen, Michael Todd.
Maybe Chad does advance. Big win he had.
It'll be between. I mean, those first 2 teams you mentioned are definitely going to Coach Joe and
Coach Joe and Kolach are locks to advance,
right.
And then
so it's really playing for 3rd, and Chad has got a leg up already.
Yeah, Meklis might advance
because they beat Shutov and Klein. But
and also, I just love Kieran. I mean, Casey's on that team. The fact that
slim down Casey.
Casey looks fantastic.
Looks great.
Casey, keep doing what you're doing, my man. You keep doing what you're doing.
Whatever weight you lost, I found it. It's not good. It's not good. I got to take a lot off.
But it's such a good team because as much as people love to hate Chad or love to want him to lose, I mean, everyone wants KC to win.
That's very strategic move by Chad.
Feel good story. He's just the biggest teddy bear. I love that man.
Strategic move by Chad, picking KC, not only screwing Goyo, but also
a lot to unpack there. That's a true story.
Lots to unpack.
I was with Chad and Goyo the night before at a bar mitzvah. Shout out to the Casties, fantastic event, my friends.
Mazel tov.
Great bar mitzvah, so good. The college theme, no suit and tie. Everyone went. I was dressed in Syracuse gear.
Good
Let me
food.
find some stuff. Let me show you what I got to wear.
Oh, I saw the pictures of that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I sent you for the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that was this was the bar mitzvah.
That was bar
Fantastic
mitzvah.
event.
That looked like a hell of a bar mitzvah.
You like birds, by the way?
Birds?
I've started sending local people bird houses. Just on a completely side note. By the way, any league members or people watching, you'll get some bird. You have 4 kids. You stick it on.
They play ball. They don't.
It's a little suction thing. Just stick it on every glass window in the house. You put some seeds in there. The kids love it. Sky. Maybe we'll get a bird company to sponsor us. This is thinking bigger. You have a small mindset.
You play chess, not checkers.
You got a small mindset. You get into a little bird, some tennis, some bird. You never know where a sponsor comes from. But that's it. I mean, honestly, this is podcast number 1. We came completely technically unprepared.
Totally unprepared.
We have absolutely no notes. We're just winging it.
No prep. We just winged it for an hour plus.
Correct.
With an interlude from Schluffman killing the vibe.
Yeah, major fucking buzzkill, Schluffman. I haven't had a buzzkill since I used to get high a million years ago, but this was a buzzkill. Really felt like I was in the zone.
We were rolling. We were absolutely rolling.
We were. The first 20 minutes, crush. Schluffman calls off a cliff.
Reminds me of my tennis match the other night, actually.
Yeah. This is all your tennis matches. You think you're playing great, and then mental breakdown.
I do play great, and then mental breakdown.
Can we see each other? Can we?
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Technical prowess over.
There we go. We're over an hour.
Thank you for watching. We don't have a name yet. The So and So podcast. We appreciate you.
Banter, a couple things.
And by the way, we want feedback. We want suggestions. You will tell us.
You will tell us what
we are here for you. I'm sitting in my basement for this league.
It's a podcast to the people.
It's a hyper localized podcast with
global aspirations.
Ambitions.
Ambitions. Ambitions is better.
Fucking Galby told me he was a college tennis player on our made the team.
Didn't play. Played 3 years high school.
Are you allowed to eat cake or not kosher?
I mean, it's not like one or the other.
Strawberry cake.
I'm gonna guess the strawberry cake's not kosher,
but
I can't.
William Greenberg sounds very kosher. Bakery in the city. William Greenberg. If there was ever a kosher bakery, it's William Greenberg. And that man was. We will Google.
All right, that's it from us for tonight.
All right, do we need like a tagline? Like, do we do like a peace out
or like a gang sign? What is that?
I don't know. I feel like what's side? I mean something. No, we need like a.
What we need is intro and outgoing music.
Yeah,
what are we doing for that?
Maybe like the Rocky music. I
like that. That's good. I was thinking that or that. I like that. The other one I was thinking is the old intro music for the Bulls, Chicago Bulls.
I also kind of like Juvenile. He's a fine motherfucker. Why don't you back that ass?
I like that.
You call me Big Dan. Why don't you back that ass? He's a fine. Like just completely off brand. Like coming to like some heavy hip hop Juvenile.
That's gonna get some hate from Dan R.
Fucking Dan R.
Be careful with those emojis.
You're not wrong. Nice red. Nice.
Got rainbow colors.
Correct. We have that correct. We will not touch that on the first podcast. We need a sponsor before the sponsor cancels us, right? You need to first get the sponsor, and then we'll be formally canceled by the sponsor. Right. Correct. All right, we're calling this. It's a wrap. That's it.
Take it easy, guys.
All right.
Good night. This is only one of many.
Correct.
All right. Signing off.